as I was talking about some essentials, okay? Honor y'all for watching here on TikTok Live or wherever you see this video. And this is just some cool, encouraging, helpful tips. And one of them is talking about sulfur, okay? This is those of us out here that are open to esoteric metaphysical practices, okay? And once again, I just want to say viewer discretion is advised. Please be aware of your own personal health issues and allergens and medical issues that you may have before proceeding to do anything, okay? Take it how it res and be mindful, okay? And also as a disclaimer, this is not in lieu of any professional, medical, spiritual, physical, any legal licensure type thing, okay? These are just tools and tips that you can put in your toolkit if you're someone who likes to empower yourself, no matter what season of life you are in, no matter what your situation may or may not be, okay? I am all about empowerment. I am all about a holistic approach to life. One of my models that I created back in 2019, I didn't create the principle, I just made a quote, okay? And I said, all things are, everything is energy. Balance is the key. So I merge different aspects of things into my life that I see fit, okay? Western medicine to me is not bad, but I don't trust it 100%. And I believe that it's more to do with once you're fucked and now you're just trying to bandage yourself. Okay. In terms of preventative, that's just my humble opinion. Okay. Because the money is not in that. The money is not in the cure. It's not in the preventative. It's in the disease. Okay. Anywho, holistic approach. Okay. This is for those of you've come to accept that people have had a whole shit ton of spell work on you. High grade professional level to mom and pop garage kitchen, level since possibly you were in the womb. For some of you, this shit has been going on before you can even fucking come out your mother's area. Okay? And, of course, it increased and increased and increased. So this is for both men and women, okay? Masculine, feminine, men and women. And if you are just trying to empower yourself and you don't have it all figured out and you're your own guinea pig, and I'm the same way, because boy, I tell you what, ain't nothing like your own science project, okay? Because you got your own records and shit, okay? So hear me out. If you're looking for some essentials, some basic universal essentials, because you can't go buy 1,000 things that's like $500 just yet, okay, and you can't afford the wonderful practitioners that of all practitioners in every place, everywhere, like, you want some support as well. You want some help as well. You want to be you don't want to, have to be a sitting duck because you don't have $500. Ain't that kind of fucked up? You don't want to have to basically just you and your children just sit there and be torched and tortured because you ain't got $1,000 to pay for something that may or may not work. You know what I'm saying? What you supposed to do? What you supposed to do? So anywho, that's who I am. I am about empowerment. And I'm about sharing what works for me. And if it doesn't work for you, guess what? Now you have a checkoff list that you can go on and go, okay, I tried that. I'm going to tweak that. Find your way. So here are some essentials. Sulfur, in my opinion, is one of the most potent, powerful elements you can use in different forms. In bathing form, I believe it is good for liberating ourselves from attachments. People putting in curses on you, sprinkle, soul ties, sex ties, love curses as well as love spells. Okay, because it's like love curses. I would say people that don't want you to have nothing or nobody, don't want you to have a love life. But love spells is people who feel entitled to you. Okay, and that could care less whether or not you can care less if you want to be with that bitch. Loves me. I don't care if you don't want to be with me. Don't care. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make you want to be with me. Anywho. So, if you're suspecting these things, sulfur is good, okay? If you want to get like some entities, if you think entities, or if you call them parasites, like try not to get too hung up on the language. But if you just feel like there's something, an implant, an overlay, parasitic in nature, okay, overlays, whatever, okay. Sulfur is powerful. You can buy this bar of soap and you can, and they even have the liquid form of this, you guys. But I was just showing something that you go grocery store right now. Okay, whoop, $2.06. It ain't even $1 million, bitch. You know what I'm saying? $2.06. Okay, and set intention. Hold the soap. Speak your power over it. I give intention. I command. I evoke. Find your way. I charge you thee, thus thou. Right? By the power of Grayskull. Huh? Hold the sofa and be like, by the power of Grayskull. Okay, I'm just being humorous and trying to make somebody laugh, okay? Because, hell, there was this lady that I found back at the end of 2018 when I was first going through my initial stages of the Dark Night of the Soul, beginning deconstruction. And she was a specialist dealing with narcissistic abuse and, how to clear. It's like she got almost like adrenal fatigue. Like she really got fucked up bad behind repetitive narcissistic abusive relationships. And she told this joke. I wish I remembered her name. I think her name was Melanie or Melody. But she said she was so desperate that she just got to the stage because she had spent so much money, had, from professional medical shit to spiritual shit. Like she had did everything you can think of, from religion. She did everything. Okay. And she said that she was just desperate. She was like, man, she was so desperate one time that she was willing to get two fish and bang them over her head if she thought that would help her be better. And I laughed because at that time I realized, and I said to myself, exactly. You get to the point where like you throw away everything that you think you really don't care anymore. You just know that whatever the fuck is happening can't be happening no more. You just know that you want total liberation and freedom from whatever the fuck that is. Okay? So now, as I said, sulfur, yeah, she was funny. I wish I knew her whole name. I can't remember. Sulfur can help you. Soak in it. If you can get the liquid form, bathe in it daily. Now, in terms of the other forms of sulfur, to my understanding, you can Google this, okay? I don't claim to know all the answers or to be no expert here, okay? But sulfur is used in hot foot powder. You can use the powder form in different rituals, wardings, banishings, and also protection. Okay, is it going to fix everything? No. Is this going to make sure some psychopath is restrained? Possibly not, because if they're overran by, possibly not. But it doesn't hurt to try. And whatever way it is useful, that's just one more thing that you've helped yourself with. Okay, even if it's not going to remedy the entire issue. Okay, if you're just trying to have sovereignty over your body, your mind, and your soul, if you feel like you've been engulfed with parasitic people and you're trying to differentiate between you and the junk that, okay, boom, bitch. Okay. So sulfur, okay, wonderful practice. And for the newbies, keep it simple. One of the best advices that I was ever given by a practitioner in the past was to keep it simple. Sometimes it's simplicity over overly sophisticated, overly layered, and overly involved shit. Okay? Keep it simple. And if this is something that you're just starting out, it might be best to start with just simply bathing in some sulfur. Okay? Just, from head to toe. From head to toe. Okay? Now you can get some sulfur powder and ointments if you want to put it as a grease and a protective measure, like over your head. You can get the sulfur powder like at the Hispanic grocery stores. Of course, you can order it online. Be cautious with that, okay? Because it is a toxic substance. Okay? For added, because if you feel like people are constantly trying to control your head, they're constantly trying to, do skull work or do shit. You feel like you got people all over the world doing shit. Okay. Another thing, what I was going to say. So that's sulfur, guys. Okay. Sulfur. You think somebody got a love spell on you. You think somebody got a domination on you, compel on you. Okay. You had sex with somebody and you don't want to be with them no more. And you're trying to untether your energy. Okay. Okay, so you got that sulfur, and it's good. The benefit, the side benefit of it is if you have like I said, nanobites, nanomites, dust mites, parasites embedded in your skin, and you think it's acne, it's going to clear all of that up. Okay, any skin issues related to stuff like that is going to assist with clearing all of that up. If you think people got glamours on you, this may be something that would assist with that as well. Okay. Now, the next item that I want to talk about as one of the essentials is going to be salt. That's right. That's not a secret. Salt is a protector, a preserver, a purifier, and a grounding agent. Okay. So I would say all kinds of salts. I like to play with the salts so that I could see the different effects that I feel like I can get from them. So I would say Celtic salt, Himalayan pink salt, sea salt, plain salt, iodine salt, kosher salt, black salt, all sorts of salt that you can think of. And of course, activated charcoal. Okay, it's a purifier, no doubt. It's a detoxer, it's a purifier, it's a cleanser, it's a protector. It can be, especially as you evoke that it's a ward. And when you get edible charcoal, this is something as an emergency, precaution, or a detoxing of heavy metals or poison. So if, because many of us, we got people that's trying everything they can when they think we're not looking. So some of these things will be useful to have like in your toolkit. So we've got sulfur, the bar soap, the liquid soap, the powder form. Okay. We have salt, all kinds of salt. Okay. Play with it, and you'll be using it for baths. You'll be using it in with alchemy, with fire and alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Okay. And you're gonna say, let's say, like, for the alcohol, you want to go 70%, 91% to 99%, my opinion. The grade, like the percentage to use in that respect, okay? Salt you'll be putting around the house, mixing it with, there's different, salt is the universal. You can soak in salt if you're open to soaking in a tub of water. Okay, and you got you some sea salt, boy, pour all that, bitch, and put the hot water and be like, I'm deep. Okay, all the, okay. This is an essential. Salts, okay, and we went from the salts to, where was I going next? I did the salt, I did the sulfur, the alcohol, charcoal, okay, we did the black activated charcoal, okay. With that being said, I think I said the other day, edible bentonite clay is a universal that you want to have in your disposal as well, because this is something else. You want to keep that hidden. This needs to be hidden, okay? The edible charcoal and the edible bentonite clay needs to possibly stay on your person, like on your body, or hidden. And the reason why I say that is because if people are able to compromise where you lay your head, then that means they can compromise your shit. Okay. So I'm just saying, this is the survival toolkit. Okay. When you got people after you like that because they own that stuff. Okay. They own that stuff. They got that almighty dollar in them eyeballs of theirs. They done lost their humanity, checked out 1,000 years ago. Okay. So these are essentials because you don't know, you can't figure everything out all the time. There's none of us that can be on top of everything all the fucking time. It doesn't matter how smart we are. It doesn't matter how intuitive we are. That's not what this is about. When you have multitudes of people after your life, okay, that's looking for every moment for you to turn your head so they can send some trashy whore or some trashy, you know what I'm saying, the latest crackhead, meth head, give them a snicker to come and put some poison on your shit. I'm talking real talk now, because that's what it comes down to. And there's no one of us that's going to be able to stay. It's going to drive you bonkers, which is what they want. By the way, it'll drive you crazy. You're trying to keep up with. They got 12 crackheads, 5 meth heads, a couple of. Come on now, you're not going to keep up with that. Drug addicts don't go to sleep. What you gonna do with that? You got children to tend to. You can't be on top of it all the time. So this is why I'm sharing, and I'm still building a toolkit. Okay. You can't be. People sprinkling shit on doorknobs and all of those things. So the essentials is a spray bottle of alcohol will dissipate if somebody puts some ethanol and some other shit. Yeah. Spray that shit, baby. Boom, bitch. The bentonite edible, bentonite clay, and I'm saying edible, your discretion is advised. Edible bentonite clay is similar to the activated charcoal, but even a little bit more powerful in terms of the grade and level of poisons that it will pull out of your system. Okay, because it's gonna find it and attach to it and absorb it from going through your bloodstream or whatever, and then you'll end up, what's going to happen is you're going to poop it. Basically, if you're wondering what happens to it, it finds it, okay, and basically it pulls it, and then it's going to bind. It's like a binder, and then you're going to poop it. You're gonna urinate it, and you're going to poop it. It's going to bind it to it. Okay, these are essentials for just in case. Okay, bentonite clay is also good for facial mask. It's good for skin detox, baths, spiritual detox, energetic parasitic detox as well. You see that? You see the multi-function of some of these ingredients. Okay. So now we done covered, we started with the sulfur, the different forms of sulfur, salt, the different forms of salt and how we'll be using it, activated charcoal and how we're using that, the bentonite, edible bentonite clay and how we're using that, okay? Rubbing alcohol, the different grades and how we're utilizing that, okay? And then white vinegar. Once again, white vinegar is one of those universals. It's a purified cleansing agent, bitch. Okay, white vinegar. Okay, ammonia and baking soda. Okay, so once again, what are you doing with all of these ingredients? You are cleansing your home and space, wherever you lay in your head. You're cleansing your car. You're cleansing your body. You're utilizing it in alchemy with fire, such as the alcohol and salt. You want to use the fire safe. You don't want to leave it. Again, viewer discretion is advised. Okay, alchemy. That's alchemy in your hand. It is. Okay, and because the salt and alcohol is a drawing agent, okay, it's going to be, I don't know why all the answers, okay, I don't have all the answers, people. I'm just going to tell you, it's a drawing agent. The salt and the alcohol is a drawing agent. Fire is ignition. It's going to set it ablaze and it's going to draw the density, okay. It's going to command it. It's going to be like a magnet. It's alchemy. It's physics. Okay? So it's going to, the components, the chemical component, makeup of it, I might be appealing to the sciencey, neuroscientists, physics, it creates that magnetic pull of density. So spirits, strays, parasites, that's why it looks different. I don't know if you all like me, I'm nosy and I like to be sitting up there microscoping shit, but I don't, have you noticed any different like changes, when you do it and it's like, okay, what is that? And what is that? And why does it look like this, like, what is that? Like, that's what I do. Like, well, why is it different? I did it this here, I did that, right? So, again, and sit with it. Where am I going with all of these cool shares? You're going to be your own science project. You're going to be your own evaluator of such. You know how we go to the store, right? We all go to the grocery store and what do? We look at the labels. And we have been programmed to trust that what is on that label is the truth. We have been programmed to believe that since it's on a label, it's the truth. that it wouldn't be on there if it wasn't. And that whoever did it is integral, right? It's just automatic. We do not think nothing else of it. Okay, that's how we all came. That's how we all came to be, bitch, in this here plane of existence. However, later on in life, we discover that ain't necessarily always the truth. So this is why I say ain't nothing like being your own. It's because you're no longer going to just be taking it from me or someone like me. It's you are practicing and seeing how something personally relate or affect you. So as you use these things, are you able to journal what you notice? Are you able to record? For those who don't like writing, are you able to put a log in? Okay, I've committed to this for 7 days and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't see any effect. I do see an effect, or, you know, whatever. Okay, because we always have like the placebo effect. But if something is able to assist you, then you know what you can twerk and play with. Okay? In conjunction with everything else we're doing. So for some of us, we're trying to seek legal counsel and advice. We are trying to change our locations. We're trying to move. We are cutting out certain things, people and places. We are, you know, so this is not replacing all of the ground and physical wisdom principles. Okay? If some of us, if we're able to get restraining orders, protection orders, you know, still taking the steps to be able to get there, because sometimes you have to, because people are slick, sometimes there's like this process you have to go through. So continuing to journal activity and keep records of what's happening around you. Okay, keeping that log. Okay, on this day, blah, 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 this time, from this time frame to that frame, blah, 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 person, blah, 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 did, blah, blah, blah. You know, in, you know, location, blah, 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 here, from this hour to that hour, this, you know, activity was as such. Like, just creative stuff to help you, because it's a lot. Okay, so let me see, how many essentials is that? Bear with me, because I didn't even get a script. But give me 1 second. How many essentials we have? So we started out with sulfur, and then we went to activated charcoal, and then salts, different salts. Okay, and then we did rubbing alcohol, different grades. Okay, alcohol, so ranging from 70%, 91% to 99%. Then we did edible bentonite clay. We did white vinegar. Okay, and then we did ammonia. And we did baking soda. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Baking soda. Okay. I think those are all the ones we mentioned for this video as universal essentials. And now all of the various reasons, like I said, this could be, you know, you feel like you've been hexed, vexed, jinxed, a soul tie, you know, you feel like somebody did a love curse, love spell on you, just unnatural, weird things you feel like it's just unnatural. You did all your checks and balances here, you know, in order to balance yourself out. And it's like, some ain't right, some ain't left, some ain't correct, some is off, or something is on. Anywho, so you're going to be using it in the form of in baths, using it in the forms of making little sackets to carry for yourself, to put in your car, to put in your, you know, your hat, your pocket, your shoes. Because again, many of us are discovering like, okay, oh honey, shit. You know, it's like, you need, nigga. Okay, so y'all finna be, for the men's, this is, and the ladies. Okay, you finna put this in your shoes, nigga. You finna get you, okay, cause you your pockets, so, cause it's multifunctional. So it's not like just for baths. You're gonna be doing it in your bath. You can do it in the shower. You're gonna be putting it, you know, your vehicle, your bike. Okay, shit. Shit, and your scooter bit. Okay, because you know you got folks after you like that. Let's just keep it real. Some of us, we know we got people obsessed like that, that pretend to not be obsessed like that. Okay, and we know what we're dealing with. So you're gonna put it in your, you know, your children's stuff, you know, with caution to whatever issues that they may have. You know, you want to put it around any place you have to lay your head at, because that's when you're vulnerable. You laying your head somewhere, you're gonna be vulnerable there, at least for the time in which you're laying your head. Okay. Putting some of it in your wallet. You know, in some cases, you're going to be boiling some, creating like a steam so that it can emit that into the air. And you walk around your space. Okay. Some cases of burning of it in a safe manner. Okay, so we're using those elements. What else? Okay, but this is all, and then cleaning that, you know, even using it to clean a space is going to help to energetically as you're physically cleaning. Okay, if people done sent some entities and egregores, and you know they didn't send, you know, some shiznit attached to the place, as maybe serving, warding it out, driving it berserko, right? Making it utterly uncomfortable. Let's see. And if, like I said, if you feel like you have karmics that have been able to infiltrate your space and they done came around and licked on the doorknobs, and because there's people be doing some interesting shit to like have their energy in your space, to like call themselves gaining some kind of access and dominion. And so you can make a spray out of this stuff, the vinegar or the salt, and just go around spraying. Get some hot water and vinegar and salt and shake it up until it's all dissolved. You see that? There ain't nothing deep about what I just said. It ain't even that deep. It's cheap. You ain't got to be a physicist. You mix that bad boy, you give some intention, and you spray or over yourself, you spray in your closet. If you feel like people have been through your closet doing shit, you spray your clothes, your shoes, your accessory. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So those are some ways in which how we're using it, okay, for different reasons. And remember, consistency. Like most things, the more we do something, the more perfected it becomes. Or if it's not perfected, the more potent or strength, or the more something becomes prominent, realized, if you will. Okay? So, because of course, one time, no. You done got 1,000 years of spell work being done on you since before you can walk, on top of other people doing spell work. You see what I'm saying? So it is definitely a consistency in making those changes, okay? Put it in your toolkit with frequencies. You're on your break at work, okay? You got your numerical codes, bitch. Huh? You got you some sulfur or some salt or something in your get up. Lemons. Oh, put that on the list. Okay. I forgot. Lemons, okay? Lemons and limes. I totally forgot. That's a good one. The reason, because it's another form. They absorb a lot, okay? They can work as wards, banishers, purifiers, all of that. So give an intention. Put some lemons in your car. Put some lemons in your car. You know, toxic, especially if you're an Uber, Lyft driver. But anyway, you suspect some shit. People cursing your vehicle, innocently. You're innocent, by the way, because some of y'all out here, you wilding out. Okay, whatever the fuck coming to you, you deserve. Because you out here on that shit. Okay? Terrorizing motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But some of us, we ain't did nothing but just stop fucking with people. And it turned into a whole end time apocalypse. So with that being said, put some lemons in your car, and do have an alarm system. Yes, all those other things. But if you want the vibe of your car, you see what I'm saying? You want to absorb that toxicity. Get some lemons, put them around your house if you can. Some of us got limits and restrictions to that in certain places. Okay? Because it's going to pull that density, that hatred, that projection, all of those that eat the envious eye, jealousy, the gossip. Oh, with that being said, let's add cloves. Add cloves to your list, okay? I was just trying to keep it down to some essential basics, though. I didn't want to overwhelm the list. Okay? Because if you had to narrow it down, you want to get some salt, some lemon, some sulfur, some charcoal, some alcohol, some bentonite clay, white vinegar, ammonia, baking soda, and cloves. If you can get that, most in which you can get from the grocery store, that's a place to start. Start showering daily, washing your hands with it. Even if you're not showering, wash your face if you're not taking a full shower, your head, your feet, and your hands. Okay, like washing it, with some soap, some vinegar, some sulfur, some salt. Okay. If you're going to restaurants and you're in a place where you're not sure, there's actual energy codes you can put over that. But I highly recommend, if you can, like right now, I'm not eating from restaurants right now. It's not that I can't, I'm just not going to. I'm not. Because I now know what they've been doing. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna share this onto YouTube, Facebook, by this evening. I wanted to come on to TikTok because I want to keep activity going. I still have TikTok under my review. My community guidelines review board. Shit, nigga. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. And again, be wise. Please know your own medical condition. Please never leave fire unattended, especially a flame, a big bowl of fire. Like, you definitely don't want to leave that unattended. Okay. Let's see what else. Yeah. Okay. And remember, at the end of the day, other changes in our life is imperative. It really wouldn't do me any good to do all these things, and I'm saying that I feel like somebody put a love spell on me, and I'm saying I feel like somebody this and that. Well, until I'm really ready to deal with it for real, it doesn't do me any good to get all that stuff, because my energy will still be convoluted if I'm still basically relating with them. So once I'm ready to walk away and start doing the things, that's when I need to step in and incorporate. Now, there are rituals you can do to help yourself get there, to get ready. Like, okay, I need to let this go, I need to let this go, I need to let this go. But in terms of keeping the energy clear and clean and getting it, you can't get it off of you if you're still laying with it. That's the point I'm really trying to make, okay? No disrespect. It's just, if you suspect something of a person, you're not going to get it off of you if you're still laying with it. Okay? So that's why I say when we're ready. And be kind to yourself. You're not going to do this perfectly. We've all made mistakes. We want to see what our lesson was in something, or what we overlooked, and whatever the case. And then in some cases, we didn't overlook anything. It's just, you're dealing with professional grade, manipulators. And virtually anybody would be fooled. Okay? Okay, anywho, that's that.